Shanisty Ireland, good morning. It's so great to have you join us today.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
And I'm happy that you have all this wonderful information for us for our good health as we approach a new season and we want to be healthy, and we know how we've had issues with our immune system over the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, I love spring for so many reasons. I'm based out of Columbus, Ohio, so I can't say that the weather here is perfect. I feel like it's a roller coaster. And I think that that's how it is in a lot of places in the country. It's warm one day, and then it's rainy, and then it's cold. So it really is a great time in the spring to kind of do a self-check and see how your immune system's doing, and to not forget about remaining healthy through the changing seasons, even if it does feel as though the sunshine is finally coming out and it is getting warmer. We can still have those cold days and those wet days. So it really is important to keep track of your immunity and stay healthy even through the spring.
So we're going to be getting into talking about bone broth, and I hear this kind of tossed around a bit, but I'm not understanding it. I'd like to, because it sounds like something that is a good health benefit for us. So I'm looking to you to really teach us about this.
Yeah, so bone broth is really a delicious alternative to just regular chicken broth. If you're going to be using stuff in your soup, using bone broth has a little bit more nutrients. It's packed with powerful 10 grams of protein, calcium, magnesium, potassium, all the minerals that are known to strengthen your bones. It's also loaded with vitamin A, vitamin K2, iron, magnesium. There is so much in bone broth that it's used for anywhere from athletes to really healthy young adults to the older generation, to even parents with busy schedules. I know for me especially, I have 4 kids. I'm pregnant with my 5th child, and I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't have time to sit around and make sure that my kids are getting all of these nutrients in their daily diet. I mean, I just think as busy parents, we just don't have that time. So using something like bone broth, perhaps in your soup, sometimes I even use it to make my rice. I just use it as the base, or I can make quinoa with it. It gives it that extra flavor. And then we know that we're adding those extra nutrients into our family's diet without them even knowing, which is a bonus in my book.
And so we're talking about a specific kind of bone broth here, aren't we?
Yeah, so my favorite is Lono Life bone broth. What's really cool about Lono Life is they come in these little packets. They kind of look like those Crystal Light packets to go that we used to always put in our water bottles or whatever. And they're really simple that you can just take it on the go. They have chicken, they have Thai curry flavor, they have beef flavor. They have a bunch of different flavors that come in those individual packets. So say, for example, you want something super nutritious. You really don't have time to make something. You're on your way out the door to go to work or wherever you may be going. You can grab one of those packets, heat it up just with some water, and it's almost like a soup ready to go that's packed with all that extra healthy nutrients that you need for your immune system.
So that's great. It has all those nutrients. Then we can use it simply like that on the go, but we can also embellish it if we're going to be home for the day and want to create a good meal for our family.
Absolutely. One of my favorite recipes to use with the Lono Life is an immune supporting soup. I make this in the wintertime especially, also with the spring, because there are still colds floating around, lots of gunk. My kids are right now dealing with some mucus issues, as kids tend to deal with. And so my immune supporting soup is really simple. It's just a yellow onion diced, 2 cloves of garlic, minced. You like to use minced garlic. You can always use fresh as well. And then I do the 4 cups of Lono Life beef bone broth. If you want to have the chicken flavor for this or the Thai curry flavor for it, you could absolutely substitute that out. Then I do celery, bok choy. I have a radish in there, kale, spinach, and a little bit of salt and pepper. And I am not even kidding you. This is so incredibly flavorful. If you want to make it a little bit more dense, you could add farro. You could add some brown rice to it even. You could even serve it over some egg noodles or any kind of grain to get in there to make it a little bit more dense, and maybe it would last with you a little bit longer. But if your kids are freaked out by the celery and the bok choy, of course, you can substitute that out. Or if they're freaked out by the spinach, there's different things you can do with it. But as long as you have that basis of the beef bone broth, you're going to be getting those nutrients that you absolutely need.
So you mentioned that about the kids getting a bit freaked out by it. Do your kids necessarily not like it, or, kind of growing up around you and wanting to keep them nutritious? How do they respond to it?
Yeah, well, they really like the soup. I just think that sometimes, especially if it's something big and green, they think it's a little, they get freaked out by it. So when I'm using anything that I want to give them with their vegetables, I'm going to be honest, I typically throw that in their smoothie. So the spinach and the kale and things like that, if you throw that into a smoothie, they're going to get that. But with this soup, they really like it. I've definitely served it with noodles before. I'll just skip out on the bok choy, and I won't add the radish in there or the spinach and the kale. But you can substitute out any vegetables. You can put carrots in there. You can even put peas in there. Any vegetable that you know your kids will like. It's really flavorful. It's really delicious. And you can always add protein to it. So say, for example, my husband, he's always complaining, like, where's the meat in this? So you could throw some beef in there. You could use chicken in there. You could even make it vegetarian and use tofu. There's a lot of different options for this type of soup.
You mentioned putting some of the vegetables into a smoothie, which is a great idea. But I was thinking, too, as you were describing the soup, that you could actually put it in a blender, say like a Vitamix, and blend it all up. So then it's like almost a thicker soup, and you could still serve it over noodles or over a rice.
Absolutely, you could do that. And another nice thing about this soup, if you want to meal prep, say you want to make this weekend and you want to have it throughout the week, just add the vegetables later as you're headed out the door. That way your vegetables aren't soggy in the soup. You can do the actual broth and the general ingredients, the onion and the garlic and the salt and pepper, and then you can always add vegetables later to it as well, especially if you say, hey, this soup sounds really delicious. I'm going to make it this Sunday, and I'm going to take it with me to work every single day this week.
Yes, that is so perfect. And we're always needing to save time that way. That certainly is true. So to find out more about Lono Life, I think there's a website for us to check, right?
Absolutely. You can just head over to lonolife.com. They have all of their different flavors on there, all their different products, and they also have some recipes on there. So that's the bonus. And then if you also want to check them out on social media, they're on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. They're also on Instagram. Lono Life Inc. is their Instagram handle, and they just have a lot of wonderful things on there. So it's just a really easy grab-and-go way to get all of your nutrients that you need in a really simple little packet.
Because I think that's the bottom line here is the nutrients and what we need to build our immune system. I think the last couple of years has really been a life experiment in a way of what we need to maintain our good health.
Absolutely. Eating a balanced diet is so incredibly important for our immune system, amongst other things when it comes to just kind of doing a self-check this spring, making sure that you're getting outside, spending some time in the sun. We've got to get that vitamin D into our body. That increases our energy levels. It promotes a healthy immunity as well. Exercise, of course, is bonus if you can exercise outside. That's going to help us boost our energy, our mood, promotes better sleep. Lowering our stress level, which I know is kind of a easier said than done type of thing, especially if you're a working parent or if you just have a lot going on, or even if you don't have kids. We have so much stress in our life. So finding a new hobby, treating yourself to some rest and relaxation, spending time with loved ones, taking a bath, those kinds of things. And then, of course, as you mentioned, eating a balanced diet. All of those steps are going to help you to support your immune system during the spring. They're really easy things that you can implement into your daily lives that hopefully will keep you healthy this spring.
So I think that your life, what you're doing, you mentioned 4 children, one more on its way, that your life is so interesting and fun. Do you call it fun? You would find it fun, right?
It's very fun. My oldest is only 9 years old, so I have 9, 7, 5, 2, and then of course one's cooking in the oven right now. So yeah, I think it's very busy. It's very on the go. But kids keep us young, and so they're just so wonderful. So what I try to do, it's my goal, of course, is to create these nutritious and healthy, balanced diets and super fun recipes. You can find all of those on my Instagram and on my blog. And I think that it's really important as parents that we instill a healthy lifestyle at such a young age, because children are sponges at this young age, and hopefully that will stick with them into their adulthood.
So you mentioned Instagram and your blog. So let's give those sites, the addresses to our listeners.
Sure. So you can find me on Instagram. I'm at Shanisty Ireland. And my blog is called she'sbecomingdomestic.com. But what I like to tell folks, my name is Shanisty Ireland. I guarantee there's only one of me out there. So you could just Google and you'll find all of the good recipes and parenting tips and lifestyle advice that I have out there.
Right. And I've taken a look at your website, and it's delightful. I think so many of us can be inspired by what you're doing, and then, motivated to put it into our own lifestyle. And what's really great is how you've taken your talents, because you have been a television journalist. So you've taken that and transformed it and are using it in this way. So I'm always intrigued and fascinated by how, individuals approach their careers, their life.
Yeah, I thank you so much for the compliment. Yeah, I spent 10 years in the news business, just as a news anchor, traveled all over to different markets. And then when my daughter was born, I decided to leave the business. And I've just found my way into, just through blogging and storytelling, the things that I love to do, found my way into kind of the food and lifestyle influencing. And now I get to spend time with you. I get to appear on a bunch of television stations around the country and share some recipes. And I told my husband it's really a dream job. It really is, because I get to still use my college education even though I'm at home, and I can do things from my pajamas, do it from the couch. So it's really wonderful.
Actually, that's the part that's really cool, right? You mean I don't
Yeah,
have to get all dressed up and put all my makeup? Well, I can put it on if I'm going to be doing something TV-wise, right?
Yes, I would advise that. But radio, you can be in your PJs. You can just, it's so wonderful.
It is. Well, and it's just great. It's wonderful to hear each other's stories, to see how we take what we have and kind of reform it, and it comes out into something new, which might be better, or it still needs more tweaking, but just being a work in progress, right?
Absolutely. I think it's just so important that people find something that they love to do. And it's just so interesting how it kind of works its way into your life. And if you stick with it, I don't know. I feel like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I just think it's so important for people to find something that they love to do. And it's been a great journey, and it's not over yet. I'm still going. So
well, yes, you have a fifth little one coming along, so a
yes.
Big family, lots of life and living to do, and taking time like this to share good health information is so important for all of us to learn. So, Shanisty, I'm just really impressed by what you're doing, and I'm so glad that we've had an opportunity to connect on this and help listeners here in the Northwest.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I hope you have a wonderful spring. Hopefully you guys are going to get some warmer weather soon, just like we are, and it'll be a fun year. I'm excited for a somewhat of a normal spring and summer again.
Yes, I think we need to be hopeful about that. It's looking good.
Yes,
right.
Yes. It's looking up for sure.
Yes. Well, again, many thanks. It's been so fun to have you. Thanks for all the input and information.
Anytime. Thank you so much.